Hey everybody, welcome to the 1804 show, chapter 2. I'm your host, Dollar Will, and this is episode 85. I got a special guest over here. Not only she's my homegirl, but she's also my artist and such a wonderful person. So how about you introduce yourself to my guest and give a little brief introduction.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Charmaine Renee. As he stated, I'm one of his artists. I'm an independent artist out here, just trying to make a way on the scene with my music. You can follow me on Instagram. That's where most of my music is. It's CR Gibson 616, and we just gonna get into some real life topics today.
Yeah, like I said, I just wanted to say that I really appreciate you for coming. I know that we've been talking about this for so long, but, we finally got you here. And, I just wanted you to be a part of history because this is history. Like, a lot of people have been here and just came here and gave, a little of themselves. And it's just amazing. Like, a lot of people who have came, I learned something from every guest. And I just really appreciate you for coming and, being just a part of history as well. So, but yeah, so tell us about like where you're from and this and that.
Yeah, well, I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, East Side, born and raised. I came to Saginaw when I was around 18, started going to Saginaw Valley. Been up here for a while. Circumstances led me back to Detroit. And I just came back here. Shoot, it's going on 3 years now since I've been back. And yeah, so.
Okay, so it's crazy because like I used to live in Detroit too. I was on 6 Mile, Mitchell, and McNichols. And a lot of people don't understand, like, ooh, that's the hood for real.
Hood. It is.
So, but, you stayed, like, which mile?
I didn't stay, like, on a mile. I stayed off of Mack and Alter.
Okay. So, I know where that's at.
Closer to the downtown area.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't too bad then.
Mm-hmm.
Now going back and seeing it, I can definitely, be grateful that I'm not in the same spot. But, it was pretty easy growing up when I was there.
Mm-hmm.
I came from a family where I was fortunate enough to be able to, make ends meet. My family, they were very supportive. I was the youngest. I have an older sister and an older brother. And my parents worked hard. Well, my parents, they've been together for over 40 years, and that's hard.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's hard to find nowadays. So, they was really big on structure and, making sure family life was set. So that really helped me in the long run now, being an adult and having my child and being able to pave the way. So.
Ooh, yeah, that's dope because, we don't have those steady-gellers anymore. And it just, I just think that this generation is just, want to have a baby or this, that, but they don't want to have like a family. And I'm not saying that everybody like that, but it's just that, when we was coming up, we had our grandparents and we had our parents, that lasted for decades, worked everything out. And not saying that they didn't go through anything imperfect,
Right.
There are no perfect people in this world, but it just, people used to love each other to the point that, hey, because a lot of people, well, my family alone, like, had so many outside babies, man, what I'm saying? And like, you got aunts and uncles who they look the same, and you little, like, you don't pick it up. Yeah, you be like, wait a minute, this person light skinned and we all dark. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, this generation, like you said, like it's not the same like how it was back in the day. You know, when I think about 40 years, like you got to think like you're not just with yourself, you with somebody else. So you dealing with not only the things that you going through in life, you got to deal with what they going through in life. You got to be a lot of compromising, a lot of communication, unconditional love, and that's hard to find nowadays. You know, people be so quick to just walk away from things. You know, not like you said, not saying like you can't tolerate certain things. You definitely want to make sure that you're in a good relationship or, you know, a good partnership. But nowadays, like people just be so quick to just give up.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, back in the day, it was just like structured. Like it was more so set on accomplishing a goal. And I think that that's important, you know, finding people and not just relationships, like family, business partners, friends, you know, finding people that have the same common goal as you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I just always just wanted to know um, who got you started on your singing quest, like either an artist or was it like somebody like in your family?
Well, with music for me, it actually started with me writing.
Mm-hmm.
I've been writing since I was about 7, and it really just started with me writing about different things that I felt. I was not really an outspoken child. I was more quiet and timid. So I always felt the need to just write, like whether it was something that I felt, whether it was something I was going through in a day. I just felt like that was the best way for me to express myself. And then writing turned into poetry. Poetry turned into me writing songs for people or just writing hooks for people. And then that led me to working with different artists, to eventually being in a variety of different groups, people reaching out from different states, different cities, asking me to, whether it's write a hook, write a song, hop on a track because I sing.
Yeah.
But I always had a musical background.
Mm-hmm.
Like growing up, I was in various choirs. I was in musical theater, different talent shows. Even in college, like I was in different choirs. I was in a group kind of like Glee, Encore, sung background for churches, led different songs, sung for weddings, funerals. So it was just something I always loved to do. But it initially started as writing for me and it grew from there.
Mm. Man, that's impressive. I must admit, like, cause me, I always love D'Angelo's Brown Sugar album. That was like my favorite album. First album that I ever heard that got me in love with music. And it was funny because like I used to sneak when my mama used to work third shift, so I used to sneak in the living room, used to play her stereo, you know, the old school joints with the glass door on it. So I used to sneak up in there and just have her headphones and stuff like that. And then one night I fell asleep. I got caught slipping. And so she woke me up. She was like, "Well, what the hell you doing in here?" And I was like, "Mama, don't hurt me." I was like, "I just love this song." She's like, "Oh, you love that?" So like, I think it was either the next day or like a few days later. She she bought me this big radio and she bought me the cassette players, and she like, "You ain't touching my shit again," and this and that. So that's what really got me into music, and I've been in love ever since because it's just like that sound. It was just, to me, was just like the most beautiful thing ever. Like, because growing up in the 90s, it was just more like the radio was always on, like no matter what.
Yeah.
And it just was like, whether you got teased at school or you got beat up or whatever, ridicule, you know, I was bullied. And you know what I'm saying? I wasn't always so big, but other than that, it was just like, you know, coming home into the radio, and it just like give you that reassurance that everything was going to be okay. And it was just like a stress reliever, just being able to listen to that stuff. And now you don't really have those songs that help you reminisce or make you reminisce, and just you can hear a song like now that you haven't heard 20 years ago, you still remember the lyrics. You still remember where you was at. You still remember how it made you feel. Now it just isn't like that. So that's why I'm doing the mixtape. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm doing the volume 2. Hope everybody liking the work that I've been doing.
yes,
you know what
fire.
I'm saying? And we doing 23 tracks, people. You know what I'm saying? We doing this nostalgia. And, you know, she's going to be featured on it. You know, shout out to Skywalker. Shout out to OJ. Shout out to everybody who's on it.
It's
so
so
far.
much talent. So much talent.
And that's what I'm trying to do is like, I'm just really trying to bring people together because we really don't have that. It's just always competition. And to me, I feel like we all trying to get to the same place. Why not pick somebody up? You know, like, it's maybe things that, you know, I'm weak at, and it's things that, you know what I'm saying, you weak at.
Right.
So let's just put our strengths together and just, you know, become a team.
And it's all about learning and growing, you know, together, accomplishing the mission. For real. But like you said, one thing I did want to touch on that you said previously as far as music. Like nowadays, you know, you have people that they put out things and they have substance to it, but it's not the same like how it was back then. You know, like you said, you can go back and listen to a song, remember the lyrics, remember how you felt. And back then it was so much like pain, it was so much storytelling. And for me as an artist, that's what's important to me in my music. Like, even if I'm not necessarily telling a story, I want you to be able to feel where I'm coming from, you know, at the end of the day. And I think that that's important in music because music has the power, you know, to heal people. It has to be relatable, and that's really what I look for when I'm making music, you know, just trying to connect to people, get them to understand where I'm coming from, what I've been through, you know, how I'm feeling, whether it's a situation or a circumstance or a topic, just being able to put lyrics together and effectively convey the message at the end of the day.
Man, I agree. And these big words you're using so amazing. You know I'm gonna talk shit.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just one of those, I just really grateful that we ever crossed paths. Because I love working with talented people. I love being around talented people. So your first recording experience, you want to give us like just a discussion about that? So how did you?
Wow. My first recording experience. Man, so it's actually interesting. I was asked to sing on a track, pretty much a chorus. It was pre-written. It was in relation to a situation that an individual was dealing with at a time, the loss of his brother. And, you know, he told me the vision, and it was amazing to me because I had never actually recorded. Like I said, I would write tracks and, you know, I would write for people. But actually being in the studio and hearing my own voice, it was so different for me. But that experience was like life-changing. That's when I really knew, like, okay, this is something that I really want to do. This is something that I can do. This is what I'm made for. And just being able to work with somebody who has a vision and who's just as talented as you and bring a project to life, you be able to say, like, that's your project. Like, it's an amazing feeling. So my first time, I wasn't nervous. It just what threw me off really was just hearing my own voice. Like, I don't know why. Like, that was the biggest thing to me. Like, does that sound right? Do I really sound like that? But once I got used to it and obviously started doing it more and grew within myself, that's the best part about it. Like, being able to get into the studio, hear yourself, and then being able to grow from there. You know, understanding not just from a singing perspective or not just from an artist perspective, actually understanding the engineering, you know, what they do, the sound quality, the different things that you learn. Like, it's so much work that people who aren't artists, you know, or who haven't been in the studio don't understand. Like, it's not just about going in there and just laying words. Like, it's actually a system to it.
Yeah. Because everybody's a critic, and I tell people, like, you think you can do better, then go and they find out like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. And it was funny. I remember, when because we let you hear the finished project.
Yeah.
And I was just like, so like, oh my God, I sound like that. And you like, no, it's hard, it's hard. And I'm like, oh no, like, but I'm still working on my, cause it could be it could be like a habit for me, cause I love how my voice is, but it's just when I on a track, it's just like, oh, like.
Yeah, that first initial sound it definitely catches you off guard, but once you do it more and you got the right people around you, encouraging you, telling you can do it, that definitely helps in building your character into an artist. So.
Yeah, and it's cool because like, you sound like yourself. Like I can hear you talk. And then when you sing, it's like, oh wow, like this is her, but this is a whole new different person. This is your alter ego type thing, like you like Sailor Moon in a way, And that's dope because I just love the energy that you put out, and even when we did, that sniff it. You don't get lazy with it, like you passionate, like every time you behind the mic. And that's what I say to everybody who's trying to do something in their lives is you gotta be passionate. You can't be lazy. You can't half step, because you never know, like that song or that thing or that chore or whatever that you try to do, you go get picked up real quick because you put your all into that, and somebody gonna notice it.
Yeah,
Somebody
and even in the track that we, the track that we was working on, when you asked me, that was the first time that, we recorded together. And,
yeah.
I learned, from you and from Derek in that experience, even though you saying, you was just starting with it, I learned from you guys because it was your project essentially. So I was just like, I don't know how you want this to sound. I don't know exactly how far to go with it. I definitely want to express myself as an artist, but I want it to be about your vision at the end of the day. And you guys, gave me space to do what I do, you built up my confidence in doing it. So, that was an experience in itself. So, you can definitely learn from people. It don't matter how long you've been in the game. You can definitely learn from people as long as you both have the same goal and the same vision. So.
Yeah, I'm not Motown, but, I can... Because I can hear, like, whatever I can, like, hear a beat or something, I can always hear words and beats and melodies and rhythms. And I just knew, like, how to go with it. And plus, it was my favorite song. But I didn't want to go with it like the original. I always want my stuff to be, like, a beat was given to me and lyrics was... given to me, but I write my own shit. But I'm saying, like, that's how I go with every song, and it's just everybody really doesn't know how to structure a song or don't know how to arrange a song or record a song. It's just all about like people's taking people's methods and taking. And there's nothing wrong with borrowing, because everybody borrowed from somebody before, but it's just you have certain people that just be swagger jacking, taking people's styles and stuff like that without paying homage. And when I hear you, I always wanted to know, like, what was your, like, influences musically?
I had quite a few different influences. I really liked Brandy. I really liked Aaliyah. Even now, like, I could say Ella Mai, her, Mary J. Blige. Just that old school type vibe. Janae Aiko, I like her a lot. But when I listen to artists, I listen to their voice. I listen to their backgrounds. I listen to their lyrics, how they flow, their transitions. Just the musical experience in general. And I try my best to learn from it and, take what I learned from them, but like you said, also be an individual at the end of the day.
Yeah, me too. My favorite singer. A lot of people will be surprised about this, but my favorite singer, Lloyd, to me.
Lloyd?
I love Lloyd. Like
He's a good artist. I just wasn't expecting you to say Lloyd.
no, it's just like his harmonizing just be
Okay.
like so wavy and stuff.
Smooth.
I be like, oh my god, like how does he do this every time to me? But him and I always loved Teddy Pendergrass and shoot. I'll be all day. This is not about me. This is about you. So I'll be all day.
But it's a lot of artists that you can, from that time frame that you can relate to, as far as music ability. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. I heard. Well, I ain't gonna say I heard, but you had just went through having COVID and everything like that. And I'm grateful that you made it out of that. That's killing people every day.
Yeah.
And what was going through your head when that happened and stuff like that? Like, were you nervous?
To be honest with you, when I first found out that I had it, I didn't even really know. And, they say that some people, they know right away. Some people, they don't have any symptoms at all. It could be the littlest thing.
Mm-hmm.
It started with me just having chest pain. I just thought I was overworking. But being smart, I went to find out, and it just so happened that I had COVID. And for me, it was definitely an experience, being locked in the house. It made me really think about things. It really made me think about my future, where I wanted to go in life, what I was doing now, the different things I want to do as far as career-wise, as far as being an artist as well, the different projects I still want to work on. It really just made me analyze. I had a lot of time to think, but I took my thoughts I made sure my thought process was positive. I thought about things that I could do to improve myself. Not so much about downing the fact that I had COVID and like it was the end of the world. But it definitely was an experience, not being able to really be around people or talk to people much or leave the house. It definitely makes you feel some type of way. So you got to stay busy. So I took a lot of that time to write. I took a lot of that time to just evaluate, where I wanted to be and where I wanted to go. And I'm glad, obviously, now that I made it out of that, but I do feel like it was essential because sometimes we can get so caught up in life and just moving so quickly. Work for me, I work a lot in the restaurant industry. So, they're always needing people there. So you get so caught up in your everyday life that you don't really take the time to pause and focus on yourself. What do I really want to be doing? Is this what I want to do my whole life? Am I accomplishing my goals at the end of the day? So it was really an enlightening experience for me.
Yeah, that's what's up. And like I said, I pray for you every night when you had it, and because because me working in the hospital, I see that all the time, and a lot of people be on respirators, and a lot of people don't make it out of that, and it's just a real humbling experience, and it just really shows you how much life is just a privilege, and people just be playing around, and that's why I don't be in no kickbacks, no clubs, no bars. Like, y'all playing like this still a playing to me.
And even in that's the thing too. Like, I've never really been one to just really go out much. But I've always been a busy person. Like, I always felt like I had to be moving. So to even catch it like I did, I knew it was a possibility working in the field that I worked that I could catch it. But you always have that mentality like, oh, it's not going to be me. It's never going to be me. And then when it happens, it's like, man, like that really did happen to me. So it's definitely something serious. You definitely want to take the right precautions to at least try not to get it. It's going around like crazy though, so.
Man, for real, like these bills, for real, like, and it's just, everybody just, want to live their life, and sometimes, shoot, things have to happen in order for us to have a sit down and for us to get our attention. And some things happens to us to save us.
And it's funny you say that because my sister, we was having a conversation not too long ago, and I was just telling her, like, I don't understand. Like, I'm a humble person. I work so hard. I try to do right, you know. And it seemed like everything is happening. I went from COVID to, about my car situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like back to back the beginning of the year. And she said the same thing. Like sometimes, things happen, not necessarily because we're doing anything wrong. Just you need to pause. You just need to take time to really just slow down. Sometimes you can be so busy and trying to accomplish things that you're all over the place, and you just really need to sit and make a plan and
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah, I agree. And also, my favorite question. So how people, what I'm saying, like supporting you and stuff like that, like have you really seen like who was real and who wasn't, or sense any type of jealousy from somebody that you least expected?
I can't say that I've really sensed any type of jealousy. As far as supporting, that's kind of a tough subject because at the end of the day, we're all doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's busy, everyone's working to accomplish some type of goal. So I'm not the type of person to sit back and be like, oh, this person just, doesn't support me. This person just doesn't want to be there for me. People do get busy and people do have their own lives.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I feel like when you've been doing something for so long, you start to see the people that really believe in you. Like, whether it's people who have heard some of your work, people that have been following you and keeping up with you, they'll tend to reach out, even if they're not consistently like on your page or consistently liking, different things that you do. At some point they're going to reach out. They're going to try to offer some type of assistance, and they're going to be there for you. So like I said, I haven't seen like as far as jealousy from what I know of, but I definitely have been able to figure out the people that I have in my corner that are willing to work.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Yeah, you definitely one of them. And to be honest with you, like when you reached out to me, you caught me off guard because I didn't even know that you knew about me, like really from the artist perspective. Like I knew you knew of me, but I didn't know that you really knew of me, like as an artist.
No, like real talk, I was shocked because when I used to see you, you would be quiet. You were just so quiet. So when you told me like, when we first met, I put two to two together. I was just like, that was you. Like you was just always quiet to me. Like I was like, wow. Like so, it just was one of those things. Like damn. Like I gotta get her on my team. Like is she with anybody? Because I really respect your talent, your gift, because it's a gift. And have anybody like came up to you and be like, hey, I'm really enjoy like what you do, and like giving autographs or something like that. You took pictures with anybody? Because I have. I don't know if they released them or gave my autograph to people, but
I've definitely had people reach out, show love, even like ask for autographs. And it's funny to me because like me, I feel like, I haven't reached the level that I'm looking to reach yet. I'm still growing. I've got a little base for my artistry, but I'm still growing. I still learn every day. So when people reach out to me, I'm already a humble person, but it just humbles me even more because it's like, people really see you. People really are paying attention. Like even when you feel like no one is, like people hear about you. People listen to your content and they learn from you. So, I'm appreciative of just that. That means a lot to me. But as far as like, people asking for autographs and stuff like that, or just showing love, like it goes a long way.
Yeah, I do.
Because like I said, I'm confident in what I do, but I'm still evolving. You know, I'm still an artist. I still have a lot of things to learn. Every project I try to make better than my last. So, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'm one of your biggest fans, and that's why, I push you so hard. I try to get you out of that. I respect your humbleness, and I don't ever want you to become like the diva, Mariah Carey mode and nothing like that. But we gonna go far, and I'm just really want what everybody else that we know sees. I want strangers to see. I want pretty much you to be global someday, and it's gonna happen. As long as we, stay grinding and stuff like that, because we can get there. And I tell people, 1804, we've taken over, and I'm really got major plans, big plans this year for us, and I'm not gonna reveal everything,
Right.
but just know that she's coming out this year, and our own team coming out this year, and we got videos on the way. So, anything else you want to talk about before we go?
Just to look out for, like you said, us. Like, we coming and we full force. For real. We putting in that work, and from some of the things I've heard, is definitely worth the experience and the ride. So I'm definitely grateful, again, for you reaching out for this show, and just to work with me. Like, I really appreciate that. I'm working on some things myself as an independent artist, but at the end of the day, we all out here grinding. We gonna get it, like you said, as long as we stay consistent, got the right people in our corner, and we push each other, we can't fail.
Can't fail. But yeah, everybody, we out. But before I go, make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel, 1804 Chapter 2. And make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe again, because I really need to get my subscribers up. And make sure y'all subscribe to her channel.
Yes, I was going to add. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. My YouTube channel is Charmaine Renee. And my Instagram is CRGibson, GIBSON 616. So go ahead and check us out.
Yeah, I'm going to have to leave a link in the comments or description box. I ain't going to remember all those numbers. But
it was 3 numbers.
Man, I ain't going to remember that. You know how you be surprised about people's attention spans a little bit. But yeah, that includes this interview. And keep me locked for tomorrow, 1804 History tomorrow. So,
all right, y'all.
And the lovely Miss Charmaine. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.